This we doing.
Congratulations, Justin.
Me looking my.
You're $500 richer. Congratulations, Edward. You're $10,000 richer. All right, how should I call you? Money man? You making more money? All right, how should I call you? Money man?
Hi guys, welcome back with the Flex Weekend Pro Italy 2026 complete lineup results, so let's dive straight into it. This was probably the least impressive package from Vladyslav Sukhoruchko we have seen on stage. I'm not sure what went wrong, but his midsection was not fully under control. There was a prominent distension there and his waist looks much wider. The shape of his shoulders and lats does not look natural anymore in my opinion. And on top of that, he was struggling to hit front and back lats per shot. It seems like he was having a hard time to opening up his physique in these shots. Whether this is due to an injury or something else, hopefully he can fix it. Whereas I think his conditioning was not really bad, he has impressive vascularity and sharp details, especially in his legs. But overall this was definitely not one of Vlad's stronger showings, so I hope he brings a much improved package in his next show. At the Emperor show, Abdullah Al-Sairafi was at 8th place, which means he already defeated Bolzoni and Fritz and Bolzoni there, but this time judges had both of them ahead of him. Personally, I think Abdullah was highly overlooked. Throughout the prejudging, he was constantly on the far right and he never got a single chance to stand in the middle for a proper comparison. I think he deserved to place at least a few spots higher than just 9th place. In my opinion, he could have beaten Bolzoni again and realistically placed as high as 6th or 7th. Abdullah has phenomenal structure, a very shapely physique and an incredible small waist for an open bodybuilder. His physique flows tremendously in most of the shots, making him one of the most aesthetically pleasing athletes in the lineup. Obviously, there are still areas that he has to improve. He needs more size in his legs, specifically in his hamstrings. His back also needs more thickness, especially through the lower lats where he could use more density to match the rest of his physique. One small issue I noticed was that he was not fully controlling his lower abs area, I think which slightly affected his overall presence on stage. That being said, I thought this was a very impressive package from Abdullah and a performance that deserved a better placing. So this time judges had Bolzoni finishing at 8th place, one spot higher than Abdullah. He definitely had impressive muscle fullness, but I think he could have shown more muscle separation, especially from the back. From Germany, Roman Fritz once again brought his trademark conditioning. He was looking very crisp and dry. But I think his biggest limitation remains his back shots. From front and side, he looks outstanding, but in the back shots, he lacks the overall density and muscle thickness needed to be more competitive at this level. And that's where he loses ground against some of the other athletes. He has gone multiple hip surgeries and it's possible that those procedures may finally be starting to affect his lower half, especially his hamstrings and glutes. There seems to be a slight loss of muscle volume in those areas, although it could also be that he was simply a bit flat on show day. So hopefully we will see a much improved and fuller package from Roman in his next show. From Italy, Gianluca Di Lorenzo has finished taking 6th place in the contest. He's been competing as a professional bodybuilder since 2022 and throughout these years he has made some impressive improvements. This is his highest placing so far in a pro show, which is definitely a great achievement for him. I think his conditioning was on point. He came in looking very sharp and showed good overall definition. He may not have the thickest back in the lineup, but he still displayed some decent details. One thing was kind of disturbing, that he was shaking a lot on stage, which definitely affected his overall presentation. I'm not a huge fan of his physique, but that being said, Gianluca brought a very solid package to the stage this time. So Justin Musiol has managed to crack top 5 this time. In his last show in the M Pro show, he was at 9th place. This year he's working with a new coach, Chris Turtle, and together they brought a very solid package to the stage this time. But in my opinion, this was not his best ever look, especially in terms of conditioning. He simply was not as hard, as crispy as we are used to seeing him on stage. And when we compare him side by side with his previous look, you can clearly see last year his conditioning was on a different level. I mean, last year his physique had much more pop, better muscle separation and muscle clarity. Also, he does not have the most pleasing structure. He has relatively narrow clavicles and a wider waist, so he does not naturally display a very strong V-taper. And because of those structural limitations, his physique does not flow very well on stage. This is why I think he has to bring a top-notch conditioning along with insane muscle density and muscle separation to be a serious contender at the highest level. That being said, he's just 27 years old and he definitely has a lot of room to improve. And this time his midsection was looking much better. He did not have any prominent distension there, which is really admirable. From Italy, Daniel Goss also does not have a very aesthetically pleasing structure, but since moving to the men's open division this year, he has never finished outside the top 5. He took 5th place in the New York Pro, and in his next 2 shows, Tsunami France Pro and M Pro show, he was at 4th place. And once again, this time in Flex Weekend Pro, he managed to take 4th place. And for a former 212 bodybuilder, this is a very impressive achievement. In every show, Daniel has brought a very solid and sharp package. His conditioning has been one of his biggest strengths, showcasing incredible muscle detail, separation, and striations from both front and back shots. That being said, his arms are one of his main shortcomings, which he really needs to improve, and also his shoulders don't have a very natural shape in my opinion. As you see, he has crazy striations on his chest, but when it comes to his shoulders, the level of muscle detail and separation does not look the same. The shape and appearance of his shoulders are something he really needs to be careful. So hopefully he does focus on improving the overall quality of his physique rather than just chasing size. So Jordan Hutchinson came all the way from the USA to earn his Olympia qualification and become the last man standing in the Flex Weekend Italy Pro, but he had to settle for 3rd place, which definitely was not the result he was looking for. He came here to win. But in the comparison with William Bonac and Ali Edward, I think he was the least dense athlete. He was taller, wider, and maybe even had more overall size than the top 2, but in my opinion he had more weaknesses compared to Ali and Bonac. His back probably his biggest shortcoming. He does not have enough details and density from the waist up, whereas he definitely has incredible legs, hamstrings and glutes, but he was not the most complete contender on stage. And his midsection was not completely flat. This time he was slightly off from a conditioning standpoint, but I still don't think he would have beaten William Bonac, and especially this version of Ali Edward, even if he brought a much sharper package on stage. And to be honest, I think his arms are still a major weak point, and at this level of professional bodybuilding, bringing up a lagging body part is extremely difficult. And when you're already competing at the highest level, the room for a natural improvement becomes very limited. And many bodybuilders look for other ways to overcome those genetic limitations. But hopefully we see a much improved version of Jordan in his next show and he earns his Olympia qualification. So this time again we had Ali Edward and William Bonac fighting for the title, and if we compare side by side their each shot, the front double biceps was a clearly dominant shot for Ali. He brings an incredible V-taper, a very static structure, great flow and a small waist. On the other hand, this is probably one of Bonac's weaker shots. You can see a prominent injury in his tricep. He does not display the same level of V-taper because of his blockier midsection, so in this pose Ali is clearly winning. Moving to the front lats press shot, I'm not sure if it's a posing issue, but Ali does not look as impressive in this shot. And when you judge the full physique from head to toe, I think Bonac takes this shot. Even though Bonac's chest does not look as full in this position, but he has better quads, more overall size and incredible muscle maturity there. His lower half development definitely gives him some advantage in this shot. The side chest was a very close comparison. Bonac impresses with his unbelievable muscle maturity and density, but from the waist down he does not have the same hamstring thickness and overall balance in my opinion. Ali on the other hand shows incredible chest thickness, impressive arms and well-built shoulders while maintaining better balance throughout his physique, so I would give this shot to Ali as well. The same applies to the side tricep pose. Ali has the advantage because of his chest, shoulders and arms and overall flow, shape and aesthetics. However, when we move to the back double biceps and back lat spread, I have Bonac winning. His muscle density, back thickness and maturity are on another level. Ali has incredible shape aesthetics and a huge wow factor, but he does not yet have the same deep muscle separation and maturity that Bonac brings. The abs and thigh pose is a clear victory for Ali. This was one of his strongest charts against Bonac, and I hope he continues to maximize this pose because this highlights his strengths. But I don't understand why he was hitting it from the side and showing more of his obliques. Because he has very small waist, he should present it more like Andrew Jack does, because that would make this pose much more powerful for him. And finally, the most muscular pose. This time Ali went with the crab most muscular. He was hitting this variation most of the time, and honestly I don't think it was his best choice when standing next to William Bonac. In that variation, Bonac has advantage because he can showcase his incredible details and muscle separation. So overall, this was an extremely close fight. Both athletes finished with the same score, but the judges ultimately preferred Ali Edward for the first place. Presumably they prioritized shape, aesthetics, symmetry, structure and the overall wow factor of Ali's physique over Bonac's unmatched muscle density and maturity. And I think this time Bonac was looking slightly flat. He did not have those same crisp details which we saw in the M Pro show. I think this was the right decision, and I am extremely happy that Ali is now heading towards the Mr. Olympia stage, and hopefully he gets his USA visa and he has solid chance to be in the top 10 this year. He has incredible arms, chest, shoulders and overall fullness, and this time a lot of fans are comparing him to an amateur version of Phil Heath, and this is understandable because he has similar strength with dominant arms, impressive shoulders and a very phenomenal structure. If he continues improving, his genetics and structure can surely give him the potential to become a major threat in the men's open division in the near future. Once again, I have to say the prize money was a complete joke. I think it does not reflect the level of talent and the dedication these athletes bring to the stage. And I found it very strange how the prize money was announced, as if it were a significant amount.
What this we doing?
Congratulations, Justin.
Me looking my
You're $500 richer. Congratulations, Edward. You're $10,000 richer. All right, how should I call you? Money man? You making more money?
Hopefully promoters will offer better financial rewards in the future, because these athletes deserve much more for their efforts and sacrifices they make to compete at this level. So that's all guys, thanks for watching and stay tuned for more updates.